Hello, everybody, this is BrotherBearTales, BrotherBearTales. I'm Random here with...
J Money.
Yeah, you better believe it. And this time, we're talking about time travel. Let's start from the basics. I have a deep appreciation for the idea and the concept of time travel. I really love it. I think it'd be amazing to experience, so on and so forth. How do you feel about time travel?
I love it too because I like the science aspect of it. You know, I like how we can talk about like the light speed time travel thing, where I think Einstein said this, that the faster you go or the closer you go to the speed of light, the slower time gets.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah, so technically you could go the speed of light to another planet, come back to Earth, and you will have only aged, let's say, a week. But if you come back to Earth, it'd actually be a few years on Earth.
So one of the biggest things we're going to get into is taking time travel as we know it. Like obviously there's no like huge invention of time travel yet, but the science facts as we know it, we're going to be comparing it to media, movies, shows, and so on and so forth. So with this idea, we're going to go into Interstellar first.
Yeah.
So Interstellar was an insane movie, super long.
Gosh.
If you haven't seen it, it will blow your mind, and it is so good. It's so long, but like it really catches your attention the whole way through, and it's absolutely insane. Kind of spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet, because we're gonna be talking this movies. Obviously,
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. So obviously there's gonna be some spoilers in this episode of this podcast. So basically, astronaut goes off to space, but it takes an interesting twist, doesn't it?
Yeah, because they go through a wormhole, which at the end of the movie, spoiler, the humans actually made the wormhole themselves.
Yeah.
Because they figured out how to do science in higher dimensions
And manipulate it.
So they put the wormhole for themselves so they could figure it out. It's crazy. But once they get through the wormhole, they go to this solar system that is around a black hole, which, as y'all know, not even the speed of light can get out of a black hole.
No, it literally sucks up all the light around it. So it's more likely that you would know a black hole because the lack of light around it than light around it. That actually makes it a lot harder to find black holes.
Yeah. And so it makes you wonder, like, if the speed of light can control time, what can black holes do?
Exactly.
You know?
So in the movie, time gets all finagled up. You know how they say time is relative? Well, he goes through all this process, goes through these wormholes, and time travels like I guess you would say normal pace, like, you know, seconds or seconds, minutes or minutes for him.
Yeah.
But his family back home, his daughter outages him, which is like,
yeah. He came back as you know, he was probably what, like in his 40s.
Yeah.
And he came back in his 40s, and his daughter was like in her 90s.
It was absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Really heartbreaking.
Really is.
If you watch the movie, it makes you get really sad. The other huge show that people, the show that people love that has to do with this type of thing is Doctor Who. It's been running for an extremely long time with an extremely huge fan base and an extreme amount of success. Yeah, and it deals with the same concept of like going through a wormhole to go through time. You have all the doctors. You have all the different times they go to. It's absolutely insane and an awesome concept to think about. Really hard to wrap your mind around, though.
Yeah.
The idea of the wormhole and the different times and stuff.
Yeah, Doctor Who's like, you know, it's time travel through the wormhole, but they can also go to any place in space. So it's like the wormhole is like a time vortex as well as a space vortex, which is interesting.
But it's really, really amazing concept. It's crazy that it's been going on for so long, and that it was thought of like a good bit of time ago. Like, so
people have been thinking about time travel since they could think about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I guess like at some point you have to stop, and there's certain questions that you can ask that people might have just not have thought of before. Like, how long? It probably took forever for people to think about time travel.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just didn't think about it in the way we would think about it nowadays. wouldn't know what questions to ask, that type of thing. Yeah.
And now that technology is getting better, like we're kind of getting closer and closer to proving Einstein's theory of, the light speed, like I said. So it's not, the traditional time travel where you can go in the future and the past, but you can go in the future as the theory says and science can possibly prove.
Yes. It's very interesting to think of how you can go in the future, because it's not like the normal way you think of going in the future. It's like you're just slowly aging while everything else around you is aging extremely fast. So like you are going in the future, but at the same time, it's not like you can undo it.
Yeah.
You're stuck in that future where people have outaged you and everyone you know is older than you, and that just kind of sounds sad to me.
And you don't have to worry about messing the time continuum because because really you're just messing it up for yourself but no one else.
Exactly.
Which can be heartbreaking, right? Like you leave your family to go into this one-way mission, but it's actually a two-way mission somehow. Come back and your family's not like, your grandkids are there, but not your, immediate family.
Yeah. So I guess we're going to pose a lot of questions throughout this podcast. And the first question we're going to ask is, if you could, with it, obviously it's a one-way ticket, go in the future to see what like future technology was like, or to see what your grandkids are like. Well, I guess you'd have to have grandkids before you did this, because everyone's aging so fast.
At least have a kid.
Yeah, at least have one kid. And then go in the future, see what your grandkids are like, or just see what technology like, or anything like that. Comment down below what exactly you would want to go to the future to see, and like age slowly to be able to go see.
So what's your take on that?
My take?
Would you do it? Yeah, would you do it?
Would I do it? I don't think so. I don't think I could do it. I don't know. I don't know. I have too many people that I love in this world around me now I can't, that'd be, it's almost like torture for me. If you don't have people that you really care about, that's fine. But I have people in this life that I care about. So to like, just let them go away so fast. It's like seeing a flower like wilt away. I wouldn't want to deal with that. What about you?
Probably the same way. I probably wouldn't want to do it. As much as I would want to see the future and all the technology,
yeah, that'd be so cool. But it's a cost.
Yeah.
Big cost. Huge cost.
Yeah.
To some people.
Honestly, I think that going to the past would be more fun, because like
if you could,
if you like go in like the Midwestern and like you have all the latest technology, but they don't. Like you have like a bulletproof vest and they shoot you with those like pellet,
those little tiny BB,
and it's just like looking, and they're like, you could be the king in the West, bro.
You could. I never even thought about that. Yeah, you could. Pretty dope. Okay, so the second thing we're going to talk about are very interesting concepts that have been thought of with time travel that aren't like directly time travel. Whenever you think of time travel, you don't directly think of these. So it's kind of like almost like superhuman powers or strange things that happen. So two movies that we're going to talk about is, first one is The Butterfly Effect. So the way the butterfly effect works, if you've never seen it, spoiler alert, it is Ashton Kutcher, and he has these memory holes. That's why I don't know how else to word it.
Yeah, he writes them in this like
so
in these notebooks.
He'll write like, I'm going here today, but he'll like skip, like he'll be walking there or something, and then he'll wake up after it's over and everything's freaking out and like everything's gone wrong, and he's like, I don't even know how I got here. But it occurs his whole life until he gets older, until he gets around his college age, and then he's in college and he's studying it, because if something affected you like that your whole life, you'd probably want to look into it, you'd probably want to study it and see if there's anything you can do about it.
It was like for a psychology class, right?
Yes, it was for a psychology class. And he started reading back one of his old journals, because he, like we say, he took journals his whole life. So he was reading back one of his journals, and all of a sudden it's like he got sucked into the memory.
Went back.
Yes, back to where he was as a kid.
Not only that, he could change it.
Yes, he could change it. So he got thrown back, and all of a sudden he's like, I don't know what's going on. And then something changed, and when he came back, things were different. And he was like, whoa, this is absolutely insane. Yeah. But it would hurt him when he did it. So it would mess with his brain and stuff. Mm-hmm. But he could change it every time.
Yeah, and like, it's crazy. Like, he just changed like one little thing, and it changed his whole life.
Yeah. So at one point, he ends up in jail, and he's in jail, and he just needs time to look at his papers, but people are like keep bothering him, and he tells his cellmate, look, I have this amazing power. I just need you to protect me while I do this. And his cellmate's like, I don't believe you. He's like, watch this. And then he uses like this page that he happens to have. He needs the rest of the pages, but his page he happens to have, and he goes back and he like stabs something through his hand, and then he comes back to that moment, and it was so insignificant that he still ended up in that moment.
Yeah.
But he picked up his hand, and there was like a scar like straight through it. And the guy was like, whoa, that's insane. And then he believed him, and then it led to more of the movie. But it's absolutely crazy. He would change his whole life. Like I said, he ended up in college. Next thing you know, this time he's in jail, and like he ended up like marrying his high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And I think that's very interesting because, like, what if there's people out there that have a stronger connection to like certain dimensions?
Yeah.
If there even is more than a third dimension, you know, where like for some reason they just have a strong connection to a certain dimension, and like it lets them do these things, maybe not in this dimension but in the other dimension. Exactly.
And I mean, like, in the movie, no one knew about it but him. Even the people that he tried to explain it to thought he was just nuts. And to think that's possible, but we would never know about it. If someone had that ability, we would never know about it. We're just living life like we normally do, and someone could go back and change it. If there are alternate dimensions, that's a whole other thing with time travel. If you believe in time travel, you almost 100% have to believe in multiple universe theory.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting.
They play around with multiple universe theory in a lot of comic books.
A lot of
DC,
comic books.
Marvel.
Yeah, big superhero
You might
comic
even see
books.
it in the Infinity War, you know.
The
new one.
The new one that's gonna come out this year.
May or something.
Yeah, this year in a few 5 months, 4 months, 3 months, three months.
Maybe, yeah.
3 months.
Yeah.
I've lost track of time.
I can't do math right now.
Time? What?
Yeah, what?
Is that what we're talking about?
Relative what?
What? Okay, so the other movie that's actually like really new, I don't even know if it's out yet. It's called Death Day.
Yeah.
And
I saw the trailers for it. It looks really interesting.
It hasn't come out yet, but we've seen the trailers. So obviously we don't know every single aspect of the movie. And anything we say you can see in a trailer, so I guess it's not really a spoiler.
Yeah.
But basically, this girl, she lives out her day. It's her birthday. She goes to a party. She dies. She wakes up. It's her birthday. What the heck? This feels like deja vu. Guess what? She dies again. Wakes up. It's her birthday. What?
Yeah, so like it's a constant cycle, I guess, until she finds her killer, like either finds out who the killer is or prevents herself from dying and killing the killer. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know how it ends, but
it makes me wonder if she can figure out who the killer is, if she can go kill him before he kills her.
Yeah.
Because he might not know that he would have figured it out,
Yeah. Or what if he knows about the recurrence?
Ooh.
And like he has to kill her like before it? I don't know.
Interesting concept. Hopefully it's a good movie, because I've seen a lot of movies like that fall flat on their face, but hopefully not this one. Hopefully not.
But it's an interesting
concept.
Yeah,
for sure.
It should be interesting depending on how they take it.
How they work with it.
Yeah.
So, of course, it wouldn't be right to talk about time travel unless we went back to the original concept of time travel. You got the machines, the hardcore tech that turns into time travel. So we're not going to get into shows like The Flash. We're not going to get into that. That's like going really far off. Maybe in the future. We're going to say this again at the end, but if you want to see more time travel stuff, just tell us in the comments down below.
Just like it and just tell us in the comments.
Okay, second question, before we get into all the technology stuff, second question. If you had that ability to go, taking Death Day to the side, because obviously you kind of have to figure that situation out. If you had the butterfly effect ability, because he didn't have to go back in time and fix it. After the first time he figured it out, he didn't affect anything. So he could have stopped there. After that point, he did keep going, and he intentionally kept changing things to change his life. Write down in the comments down below if you could change your life, if you had that kind of ability, would you? Like, if you could go back to certain moments and completely change it, or leave it the same. Well, would you know to leave it the same?
I don't know.
Oof.
That's
okay.
The problem.
I guess the question is, if you could have this ability, knowing that you would have these mental breaks, would you? What do you think?
I'd just be too afraid to mess too much up. You know what I mean? So if I'm I'm gonna go back and make an A on this test.
Well, actually, the way he's portrayed in the movie is he can keep going back to the same spot.
Okay.
So he can keep redoing it.
So
you do have that opportunity.
So I can change something, see how it plays out, and then go back.
As long as you have the journals. Because if you go back and you mess something up and you lose the journals, then you can't. But if you can keep the journals, So basically, anything that you would redo in your teen years would be a-okay because you'd always have the journals. But if you went back and messed with something as you're writing the journals or before the journals, you're taking a gamble that the journals are even going to be there.
I don't know. I like the aspect of seeing how things play out because like I like to see how like different scenarios play out.
So you would do it?
I think so, but in the end, like when I finish doing that, I just go back to original. Oh, would I? Oh, maybe I'll like one of them better.
I think it'd be interesting. See, I'm a firm believer in like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I do think it'd be wicked cool though.
It would be cool.
I think if I could try it out, I would. I do think everything happens for a reason. I think me and J Money are here for a reason. But I don't know. That is interesting, and I think I would do it. That's my answer. I think I would. But yeah.
Unless you want to do it. Let's do it right now.
Totally. Just
get
pulls out
second Randy.
Pulls out journal. Second Randy comes back. Oh man, what do you think he meant by everything changes now?
I don't know.
They said this is the one where everything changes.
I don't know. We'll have to figure it out.
Maybe we're gonna hit 1 million subscribers tomorrow.
Maybe.
What? Can y'all make that happen? See, PewDiePie and T-Series. We need to be the third one. The dark horse coming up. Okay, so lastly, we're gonna get into technology one. So
the OG.
OG. So the original time travels, the OTT, the original time travel. Okay, sorry. Okay, so the biggest movie possibly of all time for time travel is Back to the Future, and if you've never watched it,
you should watch it.
Well, there's gonna be spoilers, and if you haven't watched it, you need to watch. It. It's so good. It's the original time travel movie. After there's 3 of them, so all 3 might not need to watch, but at least the first one. It's the staple DeLorean time travel machine. The crazy professor makes this time travel machine out of a car, and they go back in time, and things get kind of screwy. Things kind of get all over the place.
Mm-hmm. They have fun doing it. But
they have a lot of fun doing it.
It shows you like the consequences of it, but in a fun way.
In a fun way, where we're not going to destroy the whole world.
Yeah.
Everyone dies, type of thing.
But it's interesting. If somebody had the technology to do it, one, you'd have to worry about who came up with the technology, because they could use it to their advantage.
Yeah.
They could
use it to take over the world.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Start wars, do whatever, honestly.
That's insane.
Go back to the future, get a technology, come back there, and then use it to dominate everybody.
Yeah, they could. Or they can bring their technology into the past and then keep coming back to the future and jumping back and forth and jump in every few years. It would be absolutely bonkers. But
Well, you showed me that video of the prime thing to do if you had
There's a whole video about if you had a time machine to take over the universe. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, you just basically go back, to the pyramid times, or the Egyptian times, and then they'll see you as a ruler and stuff, and you can just build up an army and
that type of thing. But the other movie that it's a lot newer, it's a lot less known, but it's really the staple of whenever I think of time travel. Even before the movie, when I think of time travel, I think of something like this, and it's called Project Almanac. So this movie came out while we were in high school, so no, not that long ago. 3. Not
that old.
3 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago, it probably came out.
Something like that.
It probably came out 3 or 4 years ago.
It's really good though.
It is really good. So basically, what happened? Spoiler. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend pause the video right now. Go look it up. If you need to come back to the video, perfectly fine. Do it. Okay. So this kid, he's super smart, got accepted to MIT. Whatever, no big deal. Looking for an idea to keep going. Ends up going to his basement, finds his dad's old project he was working on before his dad passed away. It was
Guess what it's called? Project Almanac.
That's definitely not the name of the movie. But they ended up looking into it and they realized he was building a time machine, but he didn't quite have the technology he needed to finish it.
And guess what? All they needed was an Xbox.
They just needed the graphics card from an Xbox. And
I think you need much more than an Xbox, like a quantum computer or something.
Yeah, you need something big. Xbox. But they end up making the time machine, and it's like, oh my gosh, we just built a time machine. What do we do? And they go absolutely bonkers with it. They win the lottery. They
tried to. They messed.
No, they messed it up kind of. They missed one of the numbers, so they kind of won the lottery. They go fix one of the guy's grades in school. They stand up to their bullies using time travel. Just like, I'm over here. Ha, I made fun of you. Walks over here. Bam, you get hit with 2 sodas. Now you're embarrassed. Yeah. Wham.
What?
But it's so cool. It's such a fun movie. It's like a kind of lighthearted movie until everything starts spinning out of control, because we're talking about the alternate dimension theory, where different dimensions, but if you do this, then this person can go like this, can go bad. And at one point in the movie, they show one person seeing himself in the past, and it almost completely erases him from time.
Yeah, because the way they viewed it is, if you see yourself, so like what happened kind of in the beginning of this podcast. Except
obviously it's not true, because I would have been deleted. I'm still good.
You're still good.
I'm still here. Yeah, we're good.
So in the movie, if you see yourself for too long, you will be erased from existence.
And that's kind of where things get out of hand. There's like a lot of main characters, but the main guy, the super smart guy that got accepted to MIT, there's 5 characters. There's 5 characters, 5 like main characters. But the guy that almost got accepted to MIT, he ends up blowing his chance with a girl. He's like, you know what? And the rule is you always have to jump back in time together. But he's like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own thing. And then he jumps back in time, and then he comes back, and things are wrong. His friend gets hurt, so he goes. He thinks he can go back in time to fix that. He ends up erasing someone from history, and then he comes back, and everyone thinks he kidnapped them. And then the police are chasing out. It's crazy. But it's a really good movie. It might not be 100% realistic. I like to think that it is, though. I really like it. I love the idea of being able to build a time machine like in your basement. Like, obviously, it's not very feasible, but it's a really cool concept that like the idea can be there, and it just takes one little thing to unlock it after all this time.
Yeah. But again, like that shows the consequences too.
Yes. There can
which is like
be
this big theme, the consequences
of time travel.
Yeah.
There can definitely be a lot of consequences to it, and I mean, obviously, if you could time travel, you have to time travel responsibly, and like like you can only do so much. Like going back and winning the lottery.
Time machine.
Hot tub time. Obviously, if you can go back in time and like win the lottery, maybe that won't affect a ton of people. The odds of winning the lottery affecting a lot of people are very low, because barely anyone wins the lottery. At the very least, maybe you take some money off the next person's lottery. That's not like a huge deal. But going back like a few days to win the lottery. If you jump back a month, that can have waves of repercussions. You go back a year, and the whole thing's screwed up now.
Well, I forget what movie it was, but they used like a water droplet and hitting water and like the rippling effect. Like that's how they explained it.
That's pretty cool. No, I didn't.
It was. I don't know. I could have sworn I saw it in a movie, but
maybe
that's kind of how they like.
Well, that's what a lot of people describe as the butterfly effect, because the butterfly effect is the idea that a butterfly flapping its wings can cause a tornado or a tsunami across the world, which is a lot of games play into that, like Until Dawn, Life is Strange.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't think of it. Yeah, Life is Strange. So a lot of games get into it too. We're not going to get all into the games and stuff.
Yeah. But we can if y'all want to.
Yeah, we can.
Just let us know.
Let us know if you want us to continue this, because we can get into video games. We can get into a lot more depth on this topic, but we don't have hours to talk about this, sadly.
Or anything else, honestly. Just
let us know anything you want us to cover, and we will look into it. We'll research about it. We'll get the juicy details. The details.
I'm still salty.
Yeah, I'm very salty.
Yeah.
They only scored 3 points. Okay,
I'm
done.
I'm done. Travel.
I'm done.
That, huh?
I'm done. Yeah. Whatever.
Change a certain ref.
Not salty at all. Okay, but yeah, that's I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think that's about how much we're gonna do for this one.
For this one, like I said, if you want more, the last comment, or at least the third comment that I want you guys to leave is, if you had a chance to use a time machine, just a straight up time machine, you can go to the future, you can go to the past, it doesn't matter. What is the one thing, if you had one use of a time machine, what would it be? One use. Comment it down below. What do you think?
If I had the OG time machine that can go past, future.
But it can only do once. Only once.
Oh, you stuck there?
No, like you can come back to now, but you can only go and come back. It's like a pull and come back thing.
Yeah. I would probably go to the future and come back because we have history. We already know we don't know everything that went, before, but we have a good idea.
Yeah.
But we have no idea what the future is. So if I can go back and be like, whoa, come back, because I'll know I'll never probably get to that point.
Yeah.
Or live to that point. I think I go to the future, like 1,000 years.
Concept: you go to the future and you get medicine that lets you live to the future, and then you replicate it so all your friends can live to the future.
Or you find the cure for cancer, sell it, billionaire, and you live forever, fam. Yeah,
that'd be insane. Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
What
about you?
I was thinking about going to the past, but now that you said that, it's really intriguing to me. Yeah. I think I'd go to the future. I would. I want to see the technology they have.
Yeah.
It's for sure the technology. I want to see. I would literally, if I could keep I guess this kind of goes against what I was saying, but if you could go into the future and then okay, I want to go a little further. As long as the one time you came back you were done, I think I would keep doing that until I saw when we get flying cars.
Flying cars?
I want to know when we're going to get flying cars because everyone thought it was going to be 2018. Everyone's like, oh no, 2016.
Or Back to the Future.
Back to the Future said 2016,
something like that.
Something like that. So I want to keep jumping forward until I see flying cars or a real hoverboard, and not the hoverboards they're calling hoverboards these days. I'm talking about a real hoverboard. Where
they made one where basically they pre-made this skate park, and under the concrete was
metal.
It was a magnet.
Magnets. Yeah.
And they just had nah.
Not legit. But yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
If you guys liked the video, leave a like on the video. Comment down below. We gave you a lot of juicy questions this time around. Hope you guys enjoy. Hit the subscribe button. Show us that love. Show us that appreciation. Make sure we know it. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We want you to know it. We do this so you can laugh, so you can smile, and so we can make your days a little better. Give you something to really think about. And yeah. I'm Randy, and I'm here with
J Money.
This has been BrotherBearTales and our podcast, Bear Talk. And please bear with us until the next video.